Progress, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of the $9 podcast. Episode number 7, if you're counting at home. For Machine Gun, 7 comes after 5, and 7 comes after 6. So when you upload these, you will know what order they go in. Still, episode 4 is not up on the menu. I've been ribbing the boy on the square for the past 4 days about this. And it's on brand. It's very on brand for the boys. So can't help but laugh about it. It's Wednesday night. It's 7:37 in the evening. In California. I am Drewski, the moderator of the Patreon TalkNShop, or TalkNShop Patreon. And what a night. If you're a wrestling fan, what a night. It's like a tale of two companies. It's like one company's doing everything right, the other one's downward spirals in their own making. These type of things are cyclical. Right now, you know, the AEW just did close out their residency at the 2300 in Philadelphia with a bonkers dynamite. And they set up a lot of the matches for All Out, and the main event was the 10-man tag, PWG style. $500,000 on the line, which the Bucks desperately needed because of their, and ended up winning. And it's like, okay, where do they go from here? And it's like, okay, beat down at the end, and the Death Fighters beat down at the on the end, and when they seem to have a new member, Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia has gone heel. It could be the best thing for him. He's a better heel when he came into when he came in. As the Red Death, he was a bit of a heel, and they're firing. AEW is firing on all cylinders right now. Their cards ready to go. It's like you got Edge and Christian, first time in Canada, wrestling in Canada in about 24 years on a pay-per-view. It's literally their first ever pay-per-view in Canada. They were on together in a tag situation, and that's mind blowing. That's including WWE. It never happened. They're going to do it against FTR, and it's a tag team dream match. Probably could it be a one-off? Maybe could be a one-off. We shall see. And had Mercedes and Emi Sakura. I mean, that's a dream tag team right there. They put in a good showing. And, they're building. You have to build up Windsor. You have to, as a credible challenger, because you have to build her up, and it's you know you want you want Emmy and Mercedes to win, but all you want, but you have to elevate talent. That's a great thing. They're selfless. They have no problem elevating talent. Most people would call it, you know, why is he doing? Why are they doing? They don't need to do. Why are they doing jobs? It's because they're professional. No questions asked. Like, you want me to do this? Okay, fine. You want me to do this? Okay, fine. Like, no egos whatsoever. it comes from years of experience, decades of experience. It's like they're at that. You know, you know, Emmy has nothing to prove. Mercedes has nothing to prove. You know, giving Windsor the rub. That'll build things up down the line. You know, fill up that main event quality scene on the women's side, which is it's getting the point where a women's Continental Classic is not too far away in terms of they can credibly do it with the talent they have on the roster right now. You know, as AEW is doing well, uh, WWE and pretty much TKO are basically shooting themselves in the foot repeatedly and often, shooting themselves in the foot, reloading and shooting themselves in the foot. First TKO, one of TKO's executives came out, and here's the quote is, "We know we have a lot of room there because Vince McMahon was primarily pricing tickets for families and wasn't totally focused on maxing the opportunities there." Basically saying, basically it's a fuck you to the fans. Basically, gaslighting Vince is being, oh, you could have made more money by by charging the prices we are, but you want you were a bad business guy because you were catering to family. How ridiculous is that? You realize those kids are going to grow up to be your future consumers, right? It's like they're cutting off their nose to spite their face repeatedly. You're cutting off other body parts at the same time. It's like I would call it an LOL TNA moment for that company. I would call it that, but later on in the day, a press release comes out like in Arabic saying that TKO is about to announce WWE is going to do WrestleMania in 2027 in Saudi Arabia. And they were apparently going to announce it like it immediately got pulled because people started speculating they were going to announce it tomorrow, which would have been a disaster because tomorrow is September 11th. You know, you want to talk about a tone deaf situation, if they decided to go through with it, they still might because they're at the point where it's like they think they can do no wrong. And they don't understand because it's TKOs. They don't care. Basically, they're just worried about appeasing the shareholders, like running up running up running up bills, running up gouging the diehards even more because there's going to be a point where it's like, you know, do I want to feed my family or do I want to pay for my house or do I want to go see a wrestling event? When going to a wrestling event, it's the equivalent of making a car payment for a month or rent on a house or an apartment. It's like you have to start thinking priorities. It's like really, it's like why are you pricing pricing your most loyal fans out of your product? You know, you're doing so good. You're on a roll. The bloodline was going on, and the crowd were doing good. You know, in the past 18 months or so, basically they've gone late 1999 WCW with some of the booking decisions and some of the overall decisions, like in behind the scenes, especially what they're doing with what they're I think they're about to do with Uncle Allen, which is basically rerun the same angle they did with R Truth and AJ, R Truth and Cross. It's like you've gone to that's two. It's going to the same. It's the third time doing that same angle in like a 6 month period. It's basically it's like like hammer meat mail. Like all right already. Their main events are like always interference. No clean. There hasn't been any clean finishes on Raw or SmackDown in about a couple months. At what point do people just throw up their hands and go, I need to look at something else? They're just conditioned. They are conditioned to do just what blindly accept what they're seeing, and as long as people are willing to like mortgage houses to go to a wrestling event, TKO will price accordingly. But what I've been hearing is that they're starting to have slight their ticket sales are starting to slow down a little bit because the prices have gone up. Something like people were saying that the nosebleed section for Cena's last show in Boston, like $200 for nosebleed seat for an arena show, $200. Those same seats about a couple of years ago would be like 30, 35. That's where capitalism run amok. They pocket the money. And that's a lot. You know, that's one of the many reasons why they're so anti. So wanting to step all over and like smother AEW because they want to pay their talent less and charge people more, pay the talent less, but they can't do that because TK is paying his salaries are competitive like actual sports leagues, where it's like the 40 to 50% of the revenue that AEW makes goes to the talent. WWE it's less than 10%, and it's always been wrestlers they've always been underpaid. AEW is pretty much the first time that they're actually getting guys are actually getting paid what they're worth, and it's messing with WWE's head. It's be interesting 6 months from now to see where all this goes because things can change on a daily basis, a weekly basis. There's going to be people jumping ship back and forth. As much as people want it to be the Monday Night Wars all over again, it can't really be that way because well, it could be, but one company seems to have their head in the sand about repeating the mistakes of the past. The other one's doesn't just basically ignoring what WWE is doing and doing their own thing, and it's working. So in effect, what AEW's been doing is basically what Paul Heyman wanted to do with the WWE version of ECW. He wanted to start out slow and just wanted to start out slow and build the crowds up. And like you do markets like under 3 to 4 thousand in attendance and stuff, and just build it up grassroots style. And that's what AEW pivoted to, and it's working. And it's working out because they're the ratings bear it out. Their broadcast partners are happy with what they're doing. So everybody there, all the relationships we have with other organizations they're happy with, and as long as they stay the course, they should be fine. But again, anything can happen. Anything can happen in about a year. We'll come back to this in about a year, and the whole landscape might change. Because you can't really prepare for like an injury out of the blue. I mean, luckily AEW is so stacked with talent, stacked with main event talent that they can plug and play pretty much. Guys can afford to take time off and come back fresh, which is and WWE sort of has that problem, but it's at the end of the day, it's a lot of the they have like expiring contracts coming up in WWE. So a lot of guys are like basically starting to like hedge their bets. At least I think. You're just standing back before like committing to anything. You just go, okay, well let's see how you handle this guy in the last couple of months of his contract, because guarantee that's how you're going to handle me. And they will go that they will go accordingly to that. Now, in terms of the hoop, the boys are on their way to England. Where where the where BC lore is still good, still king over there. When they were announced for Revolution Pro, everybody went nuts. So they added like a second show over there. It's because of the demand for boys, which is great. Hopefully when they do Brother with the Boys Friday, well, that's coming. As I'm recording this, Brother with the Boys is supposed to happen Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon on U.S. time, my time, like 2:30 in the afternoon, my time. Dallas will probably be like 3 sheets of wind by then. But it's fingers crossed that the Wi-Fi actually works. I doubt it. I doubt it very highly. But it'll be a nice train wreck. It'll be a nice train wreck. Again, will be very on brand for the boys. Meanwhile, Rocky's getting thrown around the begin, opening match in Dynamite, and he's going between there and headlining Arena Mexico. He's having a life. He's having a life right now. Plus jumping over to Japan whenever. You know, operating in silence like a G, and hats off to him. It's like how when did he have time to sleep? I have no idea. But hats off to him. And yeah, again, all out Saturday. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting indeed.